I'm actually from the DR Congo, and I've been working with VSI for the past 5 years, and I'm here today to talk about our Dialogue for Change. VSI is the Irish branch of an international peace organization, and it's actually set up after the First World War, and we're celebrating our 50 years and 50 years in Ireland this year. And our youth program is it's from diverse background, and we have young people from age of 16 to 21 years, and we have our youth program supports us financially and also help us to participate and promote inclusion of our young people, and also it organizes activities through the European Youth Program Erasmus+, and including exchanges, youth initiatives, and training courses in the seminars. And I'm actually here today to talk about our recent project, which is the Dialogue for Change. And we actually chose this program because most of the young people in VSI are actually asylum seekers or have been through the asylum process, which is a tough thing to go through. And the challenges faced by these young people are educations, most people won't be able to go to third level educations because there is not much support and there is nothing provided for them. And talk about accommodation, the accommodation is not that great. You can get 3 or 4 young people sharing one room. There is no privacy, and there is actually not much in the room for you to even stay in. There is no support at all for all those young people, and there is no safety. There is nobody there looking for them, looking after them. And the mental health, I have so many friends that are actually mentally ill, and you actually don't know what they're going through unless you actually get in their heart. And they can't even integrate because there is no money, no clothes, no good look for them, so they don't feel like they're fitting in the society. And what we did to actually make a change is that we wanted to raise awareness about the effect of asylum seekers on young people, asylum process on young people. And for 6 months, we'll be taking part in activities, preparing for, we had 4-day preparation workshop in Clock Jordan, a beautiful place. We actually try to get to know each other. We talk about our experiences, and we learn new skills for making changes in the society. And we had 1-day seminar in Dublin last year, and we had keynote speakers, roundtable discussion with politicians and policy makers. We had a 4-day follow-up training in Clock Jordan. We create ways to spread our messages through poetry, hip-hop art, and social media and community events. What we did get from the project is that we gained confidence. That's me and my friend Gilor. We went to the national radio and we spoke about how we felt or whatever that was going on. And we gained confidence because before, when we started the project, we couldn't even know what to talk about. And to talk about it with a few minutes in the national radio, it was a big deal. And we learned how to communicate in a big group and how to get your point across. We actually learned some skills that we actually didn't know we had. And if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't actually been here talking about all this because it's a tough call. And changes, we actually see the government is actually doing something. We're seeing stuff in the media. They're trying to end direct provisions, and we're hoping that it actually goes through. And for this project, it did affect most of us because we see our friend going through it, especially friends that we, that's me taking a selfie. Most of our friends that we actually went through Living Soil together, we wrote it together, we went through the pain together. Some of them are sitting at home with no education, they can't go to third level, they can't do anything, and some of them are getting mental ill, you don't even know how to help them or how to communicate. So, and at last, this is the whole group, and I'll get to thank our organization, especially the VSI, for taking part, and we have Largosh, we have a lot of fun, people that funded us and all, and we actually thank them for looking after everything, and I think that's it.
Well done. Okay, so what is Eco UNESCO? Well, it's all of the stuff behind me, but I think it can be summed up by its motto, which is conserving the environment and empowering young people. It's also affiliated with UNESCO, so you can kind of think of it as like a UNESCO club that focuses specifically on the environment. Well, our aims aren't really that complex. They're pretty much in line with having a decent place to live in, to grow up in, and not just for a select few, but for everyone. Protecting and conserving the environment are at the core of what we do. And it's not really that self-sacrificing, because for me, as a young person, protecting the environment means protecting my own future. I mean, we've seen recently with the severe winters that we've been having, the storms that have been absolutely battering our coasts, and all the flooding, that those are just some of the effects of climate change that we're only starting to see. So me protecting the environment and all the young people protecting the environment with me means that we're sticking up for the security of our own futures. So a large part of that is raising environmental awareness, and there's always an element of awareness raising in everything that we do. This is really where the peer education bit comes in, because as part of the YPEPS program, we learn a lot, like a lot. So what we do then is, as we take in that new information, we educate those around us. And that really just sparks this whole chain of learning that's really effective, and it's really wonderful to see and to be part of. That in turn promotes the personal development, because as we learn more about the world in which we live, we also learn more about ourselves and about each other. And that, again, is promoting the UNESCO ideals. So those are some of the Eco UNESCO programs that we have. I can pretty much only speak extensively about the YPEPS program and maybe a little bit about the FETAC course, because some of us are doing that at the moment. But I'm sure if any of you have any questions at the end, you can find anyone with an Eco UNESCO bit on their badge, and they'll be happy to answer any questions. Okay, so what is sustainable development? Only what we've been talking about all day. I think it's the concept of our generation being able to meet our needs now without compromising the ability for future generations to meet their needs, which can sound a bit complicated, but just comes down to ensuring that our countries develop, our societies develop in a way that ensures that 3, 4, 5 generations down the line, they still have all the resources they need. They still have enough access to fresh water. They can still have the capacity to produce enough food that the earth can still sustain them. What it comes down to is things that we all know already. Like anyone who's ever done junior cert geography knows about renewable energy, knows about green transport, and knows about reduce, reuse, recycle. And these are things that we'll see a lot more of as cities have to become increasingly greener to combat these effects. And we all know about reduce, reuse, recycle, but it's also about rethinking. Our attitudes and our values are so important because they affect the choices that we make. And in order for us to have sustainable development and for us to realize that concept, we need to continuously ask ourselves and challenge ourselves on why we're doing things the way we're doing them. It's only then that we can begin to come up with solutions. Even something as simple as putting your sandwiches when you're going to school or work in a container instead of cling film can have a profound effect over your lifetime and can really help your local community with their waste problems. Things like that. Things like, some of the other panelists have already touched on things like buying locally and buying ethically. It's little things like how we change our attitudes and how we value things more than others, and choosing things that have a moral resonance throughout the world make a real difference in promoting sustainable development. As part of the YPEX program, we've learned to look at the Earth as an intricate system, whereas if you add something or take something away to it, the whole thing can become unstable, and that's reflected in this model here. Sustainable development can only exist when all 3 pillars of society, economy, and the environment are in balance with each other. This is where thinking and attitudes come into the equation within society. How do we think as individuals and as a society? If we don't value the environment the same way we value the economy, sustainable development isn't viable. On the same token, without economy, we can't finance any green initiatives. So, as I spoke earlier, a lot of what we do is centered around awareness raising, because it's really, really important to educate those about the issues that are facing us today. They're not issues that are facing us 10 years into the future. We are seeing the effects of climate change today, and we're dealing with the consequences today. As part of the YPEPS program, we do a lot of projects, and there are these things every year called the Young Environmentalist Awards, which I'll speak about in a minute. So, yeah. During the YPEPS program, we do a lot of workshops. It's not like being in school. We're not being taught, we're being educated. So we don't sit down in front of a whiteboard and take down notes all day. We use development and education methodologies, which means that we do lots of role plays, we do simulations, we get speakers in, we do debates, we go on trips, we go to things like this, and we educate other people with the knowledge that we've been given. It's a lot of hands-on learning, and it's a lot of putting what you've learned into practice. We do a lot of projects. Every time that we learn about an issue, we learn about something else that's involved with it, and if we want to, we can do a project on it. And this is where peer education comes into it, and this is where the Young Environmentalist Awards come into it. So these are some campaigns that we've had in the past couple of years. We do a lot of awareness raising. We do it in a lot of creative different ways. We've done projects with Bare Feet. We've done a drama, we've done parades. There's a group as part of Eco UNESCO who've come up with this idea to do a rooftop garden, and it's worked really, really well, and it's something that's ongoing. Like, they're constantly out on the roof maintaining that garden. And it's something that has an effect on their local community as well as just within the spheres of environmentalists. So the Young Environmentalist Awards are a chance every year for people from the ages of 10 to 18 to showcase the change that they want to make. It's when youth really get a chance to get recognition for the work that they're doing. And it's really, really important to encourage and to continue to empower young people by giving them that recognition for what they're doing. I think so many young people have become disenfranchised from government, from policymakers, from any type of change, that this becomes even more important as time goes on. So some of the projects really, really, really receive recognition for what they're doing in newspapers, with articles being written about them, with prizes being given on the days. And if you have a project that you want to pursue, don't be dissuaded from it. Follow it, and then you will get the chance to show everyone what you're doing, and young people can enter through their schools, through their youth groups, or as a collection of individuals. Yeah, it's just don't worry, I'm finishing now, it's okay. Just to sum up, we have a lot of work that we're already doing, but we have a lot of work left to do. And I think that peer education concept is so important because it means that we are helping to educate those around us, and we're sparking that change, that cycle of learning that I've spoken about, and we're starting something that I really hope we continue. Thank you.
The Irish Concern Campaign Academy is one of 5 similar programmes in countries all across Europe, all with the goal of educating and mobilising young people on the issues of hunger and food rights. Devon's going to tell you about.
So we've had 2 workshops so far, and on the first workshop we were given a game developed by Concern that involves multiple teams of farmers, a government, a market, and various businesses. And we were involved in the agricultural economy. So we were divided up into groups, giving a loose set of rules, and we were told to have at it and see what came of that. So within an hour, we'd crashed the economy because the big business managed to trick the government into signing an agreement which made them above the law. They did what they wanted, consolidating all the wealth and leaving the simple farmers high and dry.
This shows that pardon me. This is to show us what can happen on a larger scale when real actual money and people's lives are involved. The second day, we learned about building a campaign from the ground up. We coined slogans, and we even tweeted a couple of them out under the hashtag DevEd, I noticed it mentioned earlier. The next day, we're going to be talking to Mend the City and Food Cloud, which are 2 organisations that work in Ireland to fight hunger in our own country. We've been given assignments like talking to supermarkets about their food dumping policies and maybe trying to convince them to do a little bit more humanitarian.
So the question for us as campaigners from here is, where do we go? Well, the campaign is a fantastic starting point where we might go into Concern or even larger organisations like the UN World Food Programme. But all of us at the Concern Academy are glad for the experience and the learning. Thanks.
Good morning this afternoon. My name is Michael Chanda from Zambia, Bearfit.
Yeah, my name is Moston, and we're just going to talk about different things and how these two elements work together anyway. That's about if you're involved in Bearfit, how you get involved and probably how it works, and then just how we work probably as an artist, we work to engage with the people that we work with.
Yeah, so Bearfit is a non-government organization which works with vulnerable children, those who are on the street and those who are at risk of going on the street. So Bearfit offers this opportunity in transforming lives of those young people, in offering them skills like drama, dancing, acting, singing. So Bearfit, we are in 5 core areas. We call ourselves 5 stores, 5 core areas. So we do workshops. So workshops, we go in the centers, our partner centers. So we offer them workshops on different issues concerning what affects them concerning their area. That's workshops. So we assign different facilitators to go in the centers to do these workshops. And then we have got festival. So festival is where children, they come all together to showcase what they have been learning throughout the year. So they have children workshop, they do different things, storytelling, acting, dancing. So yeah, we do those things. And then we've got outreach. Outreach, we go out on the streets to talk to these young people and then just to tell them where we offer these skills in the centers. So we've got drop-in centers where we offer skills. These are drop-in centers where children, they just go there, they bath the ocean, they feed, and then that's where we conduct our workshops. And then we do also community outreach as well, so those who are at risk of going on the street as well. So we tell them where they can find workshop, where they can find us. And then we've got performances. Among Bearfit facilitators, we're also performers. So just to keep Bearfit going, like to support them in basic needs, so we do perform. So people, they come hire us if they want us to advertise their products, also to talk about different issues. So we do perform in different areas. And then we offer also Christmas shows. End of each year, we do Christmas shows. These are the gifts for our young people. So we call them, they come at the Lusaka prayer hours, and then we perform for them as a Christmas gift because they deserve it.
All right, so for me, I'll just talk about, like, really, first of all, like, exactly how it has happened, like, because we are also as well in Ireland. So we've had a chance, like the other previous speaker spoke, we've also worked with Eco UNESCO. Some of the lads here who worked together. Yeah. Oh, he's there, come on, yeah, good. Yes, we had a chance to have a feel of really how it is as well to work here in Ireland and get to engage with the groups, which is different entirely from where we come from as well, which was a great thing. That's an experience to us as well. And then I say, like, for us, like, exactly what Michael has said, I'll just talk a little bit just about as an individual performer or as an artist. It's a place for anybody, an individual artist, a performer, because that's a gift that everybody else has. And you can feel a sense of achievement when you do something creative that is really from you, you know. So that's one of the elements that's a strong point where it all starts from, is because it's a person. So it could be a young people, you know. So that's why when we work together with young people, it bridges most of the stuff, you know, because they are also artists. They're young artists. They've got their own talent, which is not young, you know. So that's different. So, but the talent plus the facilitator or whatever it is, we formulate stuff together. We explore a topic. We use theater. We could use acrobatics. We could use dance and anything. And then out of that, that's when, like Michael said as well, we would come up with a festival. We'll come up with a carnival or anything, and that would mark the journey from the beginning of exploration of a topic or different subjects that people will have who'll have grasped along the way, or who'll have shared, or whatever it is that was cooking around during that time frame. And that's when we bring it, push it over in kind of a celebration of a festival, carnivals, and stuff like that. So for that, that's all I say, like to sum it up. It all starts with an individual, young or old, come together with an issue at hand. They get to explore it and see where it takes them. That's all what I can say. Thanks very much.
We're going to tell you a little a story, and it's going to be a snappy one. But you know, we talked about young people as torchbearers, young people as leaders, young people as actors, and we call young people heroes. And they're all appropriate words. And we've decided to frame this story, for those of you who know Joseph Campbell, in the hero's journey, because what we're going to give you is a little micro picture, because it's all the micro pictures, as we've all said today at the table, it's all the micro work that makes the big work work. So this is a micro picture of how a group of young people from nothing, and in terms of not steeped in dev, not steeped in deep and meaningful knowledge, connect with a project and do something. And the journey that they take to the end has learning, and it's very, very significant.
So it all started, well, I'm a junior leader in training in CYB, and it all started, during the summer, we went to a trip to Killarney to get to know each other and have a bit of training, and then this weekend we have another trip away where we get to learn basically some responsibility and how to become leaders so we could help out in the youth club more and get more involved. And yeah.
The call to adventure. So literally, we made a call. We put it on the Facebook page. Who's interested in doing something like this? And that's how we make a call these days. We go to the place where they're at and where we get to share that space sometimes with them. And we invite them to get involved. And that's literally what we did. Go.
So yeah, and then I read it and I was like, this looks interesting. I thought it would be a really good opportunity. And because I'm in transition year, what else do I have to do? I have lots of time on my hands, so I knew I'd learn and gain a lot from it. So I decided to answer the call.
Meeting the mentors. So again, if we follow the hero's journey, it's a significant part of the project. So the 80-20, Kira and Tony are here today, they invited us to connect with them in terms of this project. So this was them making an offer, and I think Tom mentioned it earlier, find the people who are doing this work and connect with them. And we had an opportunity to do that. So the mentors, in this case, the people who have some more knowledge than us, but are inviting us to explore something with them, which was very significant.
It all started by, we did a sets of workshops to try and learn on the topic, because our mural's on aid, so we had to try, first we saw what everyone, what everyone thought they knew of aid, and then we researched a bit, and we met up regularly to see what we could progress.
So there were trials and challenges along the way. As anyone who works in youth work, we have these trials and challenges, and sometimes they are barriers, but it's how we, I guess, reflect on them, or how we, when everyone doesn't turn up, that's a trial, that's a challenge. If it's not about taking one group of 8 young people and trying to force the issue and keep them with the whole story to the very end. What we found is that everyone didn't turn up all the time, but different people turned up at different times. And instead of us complaining or worrying and chasing people, we thought, well, the more people that turn up as we flow, 2 things will happen. One, they have to take responsibility for sharing what they've done. And the second one is that more people take ownership of the project if more people are involved. Along the way, we also had to decide what were we going to do with the knowledge as we acquired it. What was going to be, if we were exploring aid and the value of aid, how are we going to transmit that in the end? So that was something we flagged early in the journey.
So we were given resources to try and figure out what we were going to put on it, and we used the web and anything else we had, and everyone got more aware of aid, and well, we figured out what we were trying to portray in the mural.
So the ordeal, the big decision, and Julia just mentioned mural. So we decided that with all this learning and the knowledge that we were acquiring throughout the journey, we decided that we would produce a mural, and that was a massive decision. And it wasn't just let's make a picture. It was about how can we make something significant and symbolic and something that wouldn't just stand in one moment, something maybe that could be used and live beyond the end of the phase of doing the painting per se. It was very structured, it had a flow, and we really wanted to have meaning throughout the whole piece of work. And even if you look closely, there's silhouettes in the back, and that's the people. So the people who did it are in there, are in this mural, as well as very relevant and significant points about aid.
And then basically we just got to work. We literally got into it and put all the work that we had researched and stuff to draw and paint and colour and just put the whole piece together. And also we got an amazing opportunity to show it off at One World Week. It was really big for us and we got a really positive reaction, and people put post-its on the email part of it to see what they wanted in the future and to let us know, see what we could do more with it.
So the road back from this journey, there was something about the fact that it shouldn't exist, as I said, in this one moment in time. This group had their first real experience of development education, and they wanted more, and they wanted it to be something that they could do again or do with other young people or find a way to sustain their learning and to develop it, I guess, as time passed.
And then like an incredible opportunity came where my friend Aisling, along with 6 other youths, got to meet Amina Mohammed, and we were all discussing the SDGs and what's next. And basically we got to share what we've been doing the past year, and we got to show her our mural and explain it all to her. And she said to us, well, maybe we could progress it more by putting it on posters or postcards, just to let everyone know, in other words. And she said that she'd even bring this back to New York, and that she seemed really interested in it, so it was a great opportunity.
And the return, and it's something that's really important to us in our work, is that we celebrate the successes and that we take, again, a role in, so the group of people who did this project got the chance to do this project. There's a wider group of young people that we work with in the youth project that didn't get to connect. And we took a responsibility to share with them, to share the successes, to share the opportunities that we've had. It's not just about the 2 young people who got to meet Amina. They took a role beyond the meeting of someone important, and that role was to transfer and transmit the positivity of that and the significance of it to their peers. And again, we use their spaces to do that. And you know, if we showed you the bigger picture, we show you how many likes that got and how many comments it got positively from people who were involved in the club in the past and who are there in the present. So the return is very symbolic in that the journey ends somewhere, but then you start another journey thereafter. And that's the Celtic Youth Brave Heroes journey with the Valuing Aid mural. We have the mural here with us. It's here. We're going to put it down the back later. If you want to know about there's a lot in it, and it's fascinating and relevant. We also offer ourselves, and along with 8020, to go to you with the mural if you so wish or desire. So likewise, like the Barefoot guys, we're available to come, if at all possible, and workshop it with you and get your young people maybe to connect with Valuing Aid. Thank you.
Thank you.